Welcome. Welcome again to the class. So, a sunny morning. We were discussing about the sunny mornings meet of good old friends or lovers or some infatuated attraction between two people, two prominent prominent events of their life, where it lost its intensity and eagerty as days advanced. And in the old age, when they met again, they recalled their pleasant memories but never wanted to disclose each other. Why they never wanted to disclose each other? Because they wanted their lover or friend to remember them as they were earlier. Because this life has changed, their appearance has changed. They have become more gouty, unable to walk. They were leaning on their maid's or servant's hand. Such a little bit abnormal or not pleasant, we can say, not pleasant conditions. They never wanted to disclose to their lovers, old lovers. That's why. Anyhow, the lesson finished. So here, some few words we had to read here. The verbal irony here. The dramatic irony the character knowingly says about that anticipation about the actual outcome, and verbal irony is indirect irony. See, verbal irony, here they come, they know why to expect. That reveals the expectation of Don Gonzalo, Don Gonzalo and Donna Laura. And again, once again, it lies read loudly by Gonzalo, that is dramatic irony. Read loudly. So when he read loudly, she says that she could read without spectacles. But she knew every word by heart. This poor Gonzalo did not notice that, and he didn't understand that. Next, as if Silver Maiden is before me now, after explaining her beauty, what forms of sovereign beauty? God. Yes. So here, quantity of old friends have told them made up stories. They know that at what height esteem they had each other before the departure. Both had given up the other. So they might have been told that in their memories they died, but the actual fact was entirely different. Don Gonzalo, he married a ballet dancer within 3 months of this event, and she also married a person after 2 years and settled in life. They don't want to shatter their mutual images in the eyes of each other. So Gonzalo is grotesque, never wanted to show it. And remember old Laura, she also says that I am too sadly changed. In the course of conversation, they find that they were lovers, but not to disclose their identity. Animosity is no longer. They leave the place as friends, waiting to meet other the next day. The pleasant feeling of their youth that haunts them and decides to continue at least the friendship in these olden days. Utterly shocked and accused each other for deceiving other, because both of they held high esteem to their lovers. So they wishes to keep them long. Romance, yes, of course. Elements of gallant love, adventure, cavalry, past story in brief, but now cynical, ill-natured struggle is to hide the identity. All this comes as a fact of romance in the story. Anyhow, we enjoy that. Let's go to the next. When you are old. W.B. Yeats. He won the Nobel Prize for his collection of poems in 1923. He is a poet and also a playwright and a close friend of Shakespeare. Yeats, he loves married Gonay in 1889 and she married Major John in 1903. This is a heart-stirring poem. She was an actress and a revolutionist of Ireland. She was very beautiful. Here, Yeats loved her, but she rejected his love because he was just a poet and he was poor. He was not up to her expectation in life. She wanted beauty, richness, fame, name, strength, together with good background. So, as she was an actor, her expectation held beyond his reach. And obviously, she rejected him. So, this poem, this is about a painful, unrequited love. Pilgrim soul refers a lonely walk, we can say. Is there a difference between love and infatuation? If we asked with the teenagers, they say no. The infatuation word itself is not there. Deep love, that is, yes, of course. But when the maturity of mind says them that there is much more thing than love in life, there's much more thing in life than love, they understand that this infatuation. Attraction, of course, is very common in young age, but very few cases. They state that this infatuation slowly converts into love if it continues. If it continues only, but many times the situations, the circumstances, and the family background, maybe their future education, continuity of education, their dreams, their career, building the career, everything that makes these infatuations little bit away. If it is forgotten or if it is left off because of these circumstances or circumstantial factors, then it should be infatuation itself. In our first poem, you learned in the Shakespeare's poem, Romeo says that the love towards Rosaline is just an infatuation. He really loved Juliet. And here, one question should be asked. And as a continuation, he says that he never saw such a beauty in his life at all. That's why he didn't love at all. Then, what is love? Is that the attraction towards the beauty? Or is that the attraction of youth? Actually, love is defined by Dara Bendre or whoever, some Kannada writers, as it is the connection between souls. It is the connection between hearts. Unconditionally, if a person is attracted towards another, it could be considered as love. That word unconditionally is very important, and that word haunts the reader here again and again in this poem. Before explaining, let me read the poem once. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid the crowd of stars. All poems, they come as the drop of intense feeling. That feeling may be love, sorrow, happiness, whatever it may be, or enjoyment, whatever it may be. All successful poems, they they are the outcomes of intense feeling. Even Bhagavad Gita also, from there onwards, we can say that the intense feeling to change Arjuna and to make him to fight this Mahabharata war made Krishna to preach Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita honors the modern poems, modern collection of poetry. Till there, all successful love stories all successful poems, they are the drops of intense feeling of the poet. Here, this When You Are Old is a successful poem just because it was the intense feeling of the failure of his love of this W.E. Yeats. That's why it has become success. Because he need not smear extra decorating words there. Whatever he feels through his heart, he can frame that within a frame. He can fix it within a frame and present it. And that's what happened in this case also. So, do you think attitude to love changes as people get older? Of course. In a language, so many words are there which are so close to love. Love, concern, attraction, affection, all one or other forms of love only, right? A mother, she loves her child. A friend, he loves his friend. A lover loves his lover. And a sister loves his sister or brother. Such like a mother, she loves her child and she loves her husband, she loves her family, she loves her neighbor, she loves the society. What does it mean? Can we bind all these with a single meaning? No. That differs. But if a person, he has the hidden feeling of goodness within him, he is capable of showing love to all, to his family, his children, or his or her children, family, friends, community, and even the nation. I love my India. I love my India. I love my child. I love my husband. I love my wife. I love my cousin. Does all these could be considered the same meaning? If we show concern towards somebody, it's also a form of love only. But here, whether this is an infatuation or love, fate had to decide. But while writing this poem, it's believed that it's an intense form of love towards this lady, Malit Goni, whom he loved a lot. Let us see what he says. So, the speaker is the lover, and he imagines that his lover in the future reading his poems and books. Remember, here, when you are old, here the listener of this poem. The speaker is the poet, it's the listener, the lady Malit Goni. She is young enough at present, but he asks her to imagine her good olden days, how it will be, like that. Got it? Here, speaker is the lover. He imagines his beloved in the future when she is too old, when she grows too old, reading his poems and books. And here, poems and books also. Take down this book means the collection of books in one view, and in another view, we can say that it's the collection of memories. It's a collection of memories, because the width of the words, if we go on digging the words, the width becomes, increases considerably. Got it? Yes. He is asking a young woman to imagine the youthful days in her old age. He is asking a young woman, his lover, to imagine her youthful days in her old age. He loved her inner self. He did not love her beauty, he says. I did not love your beauty, elegant or money. I loved your inner self. So, her soul has had searching for real happiness, but really being alone, because he imagines so. Let us say. So, personality changes with the fullness of time. Of course, in your age, you are young and energetic. If somebody asks you to go to Uppinangady city and come within 5 minutes, you will take that as challenge. But can I take that challenge with you? Not possible. There is limitation. And moreover, even the skin also, the glowing look of this young teenage, it won't remain. As age advances, there will be wrinkles in the skin. It's not so. That shining, that reduces, and the flow of blood, it decreases. We used to say the hotness of blood decreased. It don't decrease it literally, it means practically it's impossible. If the hotness decreases, you have to die off. Yes. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, when you are old and grey means your hair becomes grey, and full of sleep means not sleeping here, old, tired and going to die in a near future, very close to death. That means too old. When you are old and grey and full of sleep means old, tired and going to die in the nearby future. Why then grey? When age imprints its effect on our body at first, we used to dye our hair, we used to look young, but after certain age, after 80 plus, no, people don't want to dye their hair. They want to look as they are, because their look changes. Not only the look changes, their feelings also changes. They solidify in their character. They become more and more peaceful. their patience increases. Just imagine, every one of you might have been experienced with your grandparents. They have sufficient patience. Only the thing is, the main enemy of old age is loneliness. It's not the diseases, never the economic status, but the loneliness is the main enemy of old age. Just imagine to go and sit near grandma or grandpa and ask their explanation about their childhood, just saying, ha, 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 is it? Just like that. They'll be too happy to explain that. It doesn't mean that they want to share their childhood memories with you. It means that they want somebody to talk to them, somebody to sit near them, and somebody to show their concern towards them, and moreover, just want assurance that I am with you. They wanted an assurance, I am with you. That if you show that just by sitting next to them, close to them, they'll be so happy and they'll chew that memory for days, weeks, and months and enjoy. But in this busy life, we don't have time to spend for ourselves also. Then how to give time for these old people, right? That's why probably old age homes are more. No? Yes. Okay, whatever it may be. So personality changes in the fullness of time. When you are old. W.B. Yeats. Actually, if we open his autobiography, he wrote autobiography, he explains that once he went to commit suicide just because she married a major rejecting his love. Then Shakespeare, he shared his feeling and made him to come to this present world and to live for the sake of himself. Okay, anyhow. When you are old and grey and full of sleep means full of sleepy. So even night sleep also sleep, and death also sleep. Death is a permanent sleep and this is a temporary sleep. That's all the difference. That's why here full of sleep is old, tired, and going to die in near future. When you are old, grey, and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire. Nodding means shaking slowly. When people become too old, they control their nervous system's efficiency decreases. So, first of all, neck, hands, and all, they shiver. They'll be shaking their head. So, nodding by the fire. They'll be sitting near the fireplace. In England, like cold countries, in every house there will be a fireplace to withstand the extreme cold outside. So you'll be sitting near the fireplace. Why? Because you can't withstand the external cold. Why? Because you are too old. because you are too old. You don't have the capacity to withstand. So you'll be sitting near the fire, nodding by the fire. Take down this book. Take down this book means take down this collection of poems written by myself, or recall the memories. Why here the collection of poems are so right? Because here in most of his poems, he explained his love, his intense love towards her. So, take down the collection of poems, this book in which he has written poems, she can understand at that time. Earlier when he proposed her, when she told his love towards her, she never understood the intensity, the reality of love. That's why she rejected according to Yeats. So, take this collection of poems. You can read these poems in a special angle which you can understand only at your old age. When you are old and grey and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read. And dream of the soft look. And dream of the soft look. Dream of, that means let she dream herself about the soft look your eyes had once. That means the young age, how beautiful you were, how elegant you were, how attractive you were, how popular you were, everything. That soft look you have to dream of, because no more remain now at present because of the age. And slowly read and dream of the soft look. While reading this book, you had to read slowly. Why? You had to digest it. It will be difficult for you to digest because there will be regression. There will be regression for rejecting my love. That's why read slowly and dream of the soft look your eyes had once. Dream of the soft look your eyes had once. I'll continue in the next class.